Oh my God. When I start thinking of this, it gets scary because I throw price, formulas out the window and just say, oh my God, there's no telling what this thing can hit.
Well, if you think about how many institutions there are, I mean, the European Central Bank, right? They said in their documentation that they can reach 50,000 financial institutions. If you divide half of, obviously the rest is in escrow, but if they took all of what wasn't in escrow and you divide that by 50,000, and bear in mind that's only the reach of Europe, you don't get very many XRP per institution.
No.
And if they're moving trillions of dollars a day with those very small amounts of XRP,
it has no choice but to be at a high price.
Exactly. That's the realization I had when I was doing these conversations.
Same here.
I couldn't believe it.
Well, I think when we start talking about skeptics, right, I understand it, because what people are doing essentially is they're emotionally protecting themselves without even realizing it. Okay. We have a lot of people throughout life who have been beaten down, who have lost everything, who have had it rough. Nothing good has ever happened for them. They don't make a lot of money, and they missed the Bitcoin train. And the media has essentially programmed people to think that Bitcoin and Ethereum that was lightning in a bottle, essentially, like nothing else can do that. And it's like, folks, look, okay, I knew when I learned what XRP was a few years ago, and I said, so this would be the equivalent of an insurance mechanism, right? So I viewed an institutional document that had stated that there was going to be an upgrade to the consensus mechanism, which would elevate XRP's TPS to hundreds of thousands per second. Now, I don't know about you, but when I saw that, it far surpassed what they had Ethereum 2.0 listed at.
Gary, are you there? Gary, I do not respect the SEC. Let me be clear, I do not respect them.
Blockchain's primary and almost only function is to be the authoritative registrar of Bitcoin, right? What can you do with the Bitcoin blockchain? You can move Bitcoin from one place to another. You can hold it, you can send it, you can receive it. The XRP ledger does all those things for XRP. If you want to know who holds how much Bitcoin, the blockchain is the sort of authoritative source. Same for the XRP ledger with XRP. But since 2012, the XRP ledger has supported what we call issued assets. These are tokens that can reflect stable coins, legal obligations, ICOs, pretty much anything else. Anything that behaves like currency, anything that has value, and that you can it's fungible. It's not very good for things like concert tickets, where you don't want to have 4.007 concert tickets, right? That doesn't make very much sense. But for things that are fungible, these issued assets provide a very nice interface. They've been used for everything from stable coins, ounces of gold, and even in one case, silver dimes. One of the very first gateways that we had was the silver dime gateway. There was a guy who had a whole bunch of silver dimes, and they're roughly worth their silver value because there's lots and lots of these dimes. And so you could send him cash or silver dimes, and he would issue you an asset on the ledger, and you could redeem that asset with him, and he would mail you silver dimes. And I still have in my desk drawer a little vial of silver dimes that are in my hands because of XRP ledger transactions that occurred in the very, very earliest days of the ledger. So it's that decentralized asset exchange, that ability to swap. I bought those silver dimes with XRP by swapping so many units of XRP for some number of units of this asset denominated in silver dimes in 2012. So that was the world's first decentralized asset exchange. A major XRP ledger feature is this decentralized asset exchange integrated into a payment engine that supports cross-currency and cross-asset payments. This is an extremely sophisticated payment engine. Anybody who's developed one, I can tell you, it's incredibly complex. But the reason for that is to provide this seamless experience where you don't have to think about what asset you're holding and what asset somebody wants to pay. It just works.
What's up, guys? If you have XRP in your wallet, don't sell them for whatever reason. Why? This crypto is about to be the standard coin when it comes to cross-border transactions and more. In fact, in the next few years, XRP is going to be so valuable that it will surpass the value of Bitcoin and any other crypto in the market. There's so much to learn about this coin that if you truly understand how it functions, I bet you'd easily invest all your money into it. But before we get into that, let's roll that intro. As always, welcome back to Moneyside, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you get updates when we drop new videos. And don't forget to smash that like button. And remember, you can leave a comment in the section below. The current case between Ripple and the SEC has been moving relatively slowly, but Spend the Bits Inc. has just formally filed its amicus brief, and it was in support of Ripple, according to James K. Filan. And that's not all. And that's just to show you that the whole world is probably behind Ripple as compared to the SEC. Granted, the SEC has the mandate to regulate cryptos and securities, but are they really on the right track? Or is the regulatory body making up rules as they go along? Because from where we stand, the SEC doesn't have the slightest clue about what they're doing. In fact, if you ask Gary Gensler, he thinks that all cryptos are securities, meaning once the regulatory body is done with Ripple, they'll be coming for the whole cryptoverse next. So a case that started out as a lawsuit against XRP could very well be the benchmark of how the SEC conducts itself against all cryptos. Undoubtedly, there's a lot riding on Ripple's potential win in this case. And if they fail, all hell will break loose on the crypto world. But how the SEC has been conducting itself on the crypto world is now questionable. According to a tweet that was posted by Stuart Alderati, the SEC's Office of Inspector General's OIG report is worth a read. Besides the embarrassingly bad performance review, the OIG concludes there is uncertainty whether the SEC has jurisdiction over crypto. This is the SEC's own cop on the beat talking. Aside from that, here's an interesting thread from Blockchain Association. Today, we filed an amicus brief supporting a correct interpretation of Howey in the SEC's 2-year legal battle against Ripple. A judge now has the opportunity to issue a substantive opinion on how Howey applies to digital assets. Here's what's at stake. For years now, the SEC has chosen to target crypto through a regulation by enforcement pattern. Rather than working toward joint solutions with industry members, they've instead sought to punish crypto companies with foggy and haphazard justifications. In December 2020, the SEC did just that to Ripple, suing the company for trading a digital currency without registering the token as a security, despite the SEC's lack of guidance on the issue. Since 2019, the SEC has regulated how U.S. securities laws apply to digital assets through enforcement actions rather than guidance or rulemaking. Often, SEC enforcement actions end in one-sided settlement agreements rather than judicial opinions that factor in the unique facts presented to the court by both sides. Rather than settle, Ripple is fighting back through our judicial system. What this means is that a judge will soon rule on the issue. Should the court adopt the SEC's version of the law, the landscape of assets falling under the SEC's jurisdiction will expand beyond how the Supreme Court intended in Howey. We joined the fight with an amicus brief today to support our growing crypto ecosystem. No regulatory agency should unilaterally regulate crypto with outdated standards. Instead, it's time for Congress to define a clear regulatory framework to guide the industry. The whole crypto community is joining the fight against the SEC, and this will be epic. Like I said, don't sell your XRPs just yet. You might be the next crypto millionaire.
Well, I have a couple of reactions. One is, in some ways, she's in good company. There's others like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger who've made derogatory comments. But not that long ago, Jamie Dimon, someone who said they thought Bitcoin was, I think, a fraud, and has subsequently come around and realized that, in my judgment, this is an industry that is not going away. It's valued today at about $1.2, $1.3 trillion. But I do think, and I've spoken to Christine Lagarde personally, and I think we need to stop measuring it just by what's going on with the overall value and how are these assets being used to solve real world problems. And I think time and time again, we're seeing more and more real use cases solving real scaled problems where blockchain technologies can reduce friction measured by cost and speed in a way that I think improves the overall economy.
Does the fact that these 19,000 cryptocurrencies have been largely used as speculative assets do damage to the underlying case that you're arguing for?
I think absolutely yes. And it's frustrating. You know, I said when they're about 2,000, so as you said correctly, there's about 19,000 today. When they're at 2,000, I got some heat from the crypto market by saying that something like 99% of them I thought would go to zero. And that wasn't a popular statement, suggesting that only 20 would be around. Well, now you have 19,000. You know, my prediction, at least for now, has been moved the wrong direction. But, you know, there are some tokens out there that I think are focused on solving a problem. And those are ones that I can see being used in the future. And we could give a number of different examples. Some of them are present here in Davos. But there's also ones that I look at, I hear the description, and I don't get it. And I think there is risk, as Christine Lagarde commented. They are speculative, they are risky, but that doesn't mean there isn't real opportunity.
As always, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can always let us know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have a conversation. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next Money Side.